When we come to interpret Genesis in the light of science, I think there are several things we need to bear in mind. The first is we need to think about the context in which Genesis was written. It was written in a particular historical time frame, in a particular context, in a particular theological and social and political environment. And so I think to help us understand the theological message, we need to go back to what the context was of the ancient authors of Genesis. They were operating in a polytheistic framework where people worshipped many, many gods. They were operating in a world where there were many other stories about creation circulating. And they were trying to draw the distinctive nature of God, Yahweh, and how He alone should be praised. So they were trying to stress the one God who is creator of all, and that He alone is the one to be worshipped. Let me give you a couple of examples. In Genesis chapter 1, when it talks about the creation of the sun and the moon, you'll notice that it doesn't name them. It just talks about the great light and the lesser light. Why is that? There are perfectly good Hebrew words for sun and moon that the authors could have used. Well, the reason is actually plain. In the Babylonian polytheistic religion, there was a god of the sun and a god of the moon, and they were worshipped. So by not naming them, the author is making it very clear that the sun and the moon are not gods to be worshipped. They are created by the one true God. The same is true of the sea monster. It talks about God creating the fish and the great sea monsters in the oceans. Again, in some of the other mythology of the time around, the gods had battles with sea monsters in order to overcome them. Here in Genesis, God doesn't do battle with the sea monster. He is its creator. Again, it's making what was something that was a divine or a god or a mythological power into a mere creature. So I think when we think about the context in which Genesis was being written, it helps us to see that it's got its own particular theological point, which is to stress God, the one true God, as creator of everything and the one who orders everything. Genesis 1 is a very structured and ordered account with 3 stages of God separating and 3 stages of God filling. I think we need to let Scripture be Scripture and let God speak to us through it of His amazing creativity and ordering of the world in which we live, and His continuing and ongoing governance of it and care for it